friends, and welcome back to Rustic and Lace DIY. Today I'm participating in the Chalk With Me collaboration that is hosted by Teresa at Teresa B DIY, and I'll let you know more about that in a few minutes. But first, if you are new here, I just want to say welcome. My name is Brenda and I am so happy to have you here. If you are returning, welcome back, and I appreciate you guys all so very much. So with all that being said, let's get to chalking. Okay, here's DIY number 1. So for this video, I am using this Stackable House Cutout transfer, and it has 13 different transfers on this sheet. And as you can see, it's divided up by the lines there so that you can easily cut out each transfer. So I am just going to cut these all out, and then once I have them all cut out, I start kind of playing around with them, trying to decide what I wanted to do. So this is the first project I came up with. Actually, it's the third, I think, but I'm going to show you this one first because this is my favorite. So I start off by taking off that hanger, and I'm sorry I didn't show you guys me putting this on there, but I was having a lot of camera difficulties. It was sounding like it was recording, but it wasn't. And so I have a few times here where it doesn't show what I did, but I will explain to you what I did. So I fuzzed my transfer about 5 or 6 times because this was the first time using it. I laid it where I wanted it, and then I am just using my chalk paste in the color Storm, and I am just using my squeegee to get it all on there, and then get off the excess, and then there is the image. So then after that, I very carefully took my roof, and sorry, it's the same reason I didn't show you as my camera was acting up. So I'm using my bright white chalk paste, and I am just going all around that roof as well. So once I got done, I carefully pull it off, and there it is. Now, if you can see a little bit of that gray house on the side above the roof there. So I just took a little my baby wipe and just put it around my finger and just cleaned it off. And there it was gone. And so then when I thought I was recording, I added with my crimson shimmer or shimmer crimson, I did the chimney, and then I used the word home from the Welcome to Our Home transfer, and I just put that on the middle of the house there. As you can see, I'm slowly taking it off. Then I felt it needed a little bit more, so I took this transfer that I used on the next project you'll see, and I go ahead with my crimson, my shimmer crimson, and I am just carefully going around trying to cover in all of those roses. And once I get them all covered in, I'm going to use my chalk paste in the color Eucalyptus to do the leaves, and then I'm going to do this on both sides of the house. And I absolutely love the way this came out, you guys. I think it is so pretty. This is my favorite, and that's why I'm showing this one first. And I just love it. And I'm really trying to be careful not to get my green mixed into the red. There is a point on one of the roses that I did get a little bit of the green on there, and you'll be able to see that here in a moment. But actually, I really liked it. It looked really pretty. And I know there's a way of mixing the colors. I should have probably done that. I'm going to have to try that soon. So I took this ribbon that I got from Walmart. I cut it down, and I'm just going to wrap this around the bottom. And I'm trying to be really careful because my chalk paste was still wet, and I didn't want to lay it down to ruin it. So I'm trying to be really careful. That's why it's kind of weird angle there. Then I add this buffalo check ribbon to the middle of that and hot glued that on as well. And then I took that buffalo check ribbon and I can't think of one of those big needles. I can't think of the name. Tapestry needles. And I'm pulling that ribbon through, and then I tie a knot for the back, and then I trim it down, and I do the same thing on the other side. That way I have a nice little hanger for this picture. And then after that, I took some more of that buffalo check ribbon and I make a little bow, just doing the awareness ribbon sign, scrunching it in the middle and using some jute twine to tighten it. And that's all there is for that. It's just a sweet little bow. For those of you who watch me all the time, I'm starting to call this the Brenda bow because that's all I ever do. I'll adventure out to new bows here soon, I promise. So then I just hot glued it there. And I just love this sign. I think it came out so adorable. You'll have to let me know in the comment box below what you think of this sign. Okay, this collaboration is called Chalk With Me, and it is hosted by Teresa at Teresa B DIY. And all of the participants in this are Chalk Couture designers as well as amazing crafters. So you'll make sure and check out the playlist. I will have the link in my description box as well as the link to Teresa's channels. Make sure you check her out as well. Make sure you check out what's Jamie making as well, because they really are ahead of this whole group. So on with the next DIY. So DIY number 2. So this one I actually had done, and when I started editing it, I realized my camera messed up so much that I cleaned off my board and redid it. So that board and the stand comes from Chalk Couture. This ribbon I made, and I used a flower from Dollar Tree I got earlier in the year, and some eucalyptus from Walmart, and then of course my transfer. So for this DIY, I went ahead and took my Love is Spoken Here transfer. I probably didn't have to fuzz it because I've already used it a few times, and it is a surface that is already kind of slick. So, but I did it anyways, and I'm just laying these in place here, just kind of seeing where I want to lay it to make sure it's all going to fit correctly. And then I'm just going to press down and make sure there's no air bubbles, so that way the paste doesn't seep through. After that, I took my bright white chalk paint again, and I am just going to brush this all over the image there. And when you do this, you just want to make sure that you get a good coverage. You'll see here in a minute, I was about ready to pull it up, and then I realized, ooh, I could see a little bit of the silk screen. So I just quickly added a little bit more of the paste. You'll see here. There you go. See, I'm like, ooh, I can see a little bit. So I just went through, and then of course you just scoop up the excess and put it back in your jar. So then after that, I took my flowers here, and I am just adhering them, and I'm trying to be really careful because the Love is Spoken here is still a little wet. And then I take my crimson, shimmer crimson, and I'm going to do the same thing as I did on the previous one, but this time the green that I use is called Eucalyptus, and I really, really like that color. So guys, I was thinking about this. This has 13 pieces in this set, and it costs $25. And I know for myself, normally I would say, oh my goodness, $25, that's a lot for that. But if you think about it and you break it down, they say you can use each transfer at least 10 times in its life. So if there's 13 transfers here, that makes about a little less than $2 per transfer. And then if you break it down even more to the fact that you can use these transfers at least 10 times, that's just sense, it just really doesn't cost very much at all. And if you do any kind of craft shows or if you sell anything, that's a great way to recover your money quickly, because I'll tell you guys, these things, they look so high-end when you're done. It is amazing, and I love it. And that's why I got into Chalk Couture, not only because I get a 40% discount, but because it's just so cool. It's so pretty, and it looks so high-end. And so here you go. You'll see the reveal for that one. And so then after that, I took this ribbon, I folded it in half because it was too long, and I wrapped it around that base, added some of this black and white check, and then I hot glued them together because these things, you guys, another great thing about this is this can be washed off. So like I said before, I had to do this twice. The first time I had so many issues with my camera that I realized I needed to do it again. So I just washed it off and I redid it. And so that, you know, you think about the fact that you can just redo these things. That saves you money there too. You don't have to just throw it away. So then I just added my florals here and added my ribbon, and that's all it was. And I think it came out really cute too. You have to let me know what you think about this one as well. Okay, here's DIY number 3. So I went a little different with this one, and I wanted to make a gingerbread house, and I thought maybe I could do that with this. So I took these transfers. I did not use that bigger window there. I just used the door, the little window, the roof, and some bricks. And I took this sign from Dollar Tree, and I'm trying to take off the flowers and the leaves there, and it wasn't coming off very easily. So it did leave some like scratch marks on the front. So I was going to paint it with my apple barrel nutmeg brown color, but as you see here, it wasn't covering very well. So I thought, okay, you know, I probably should have covered this with white paint first. So once this dried, I covered the front and the back with my white paint, and I could still see the little scratches there, so I end up using the back as the front. But after the white dried, I just went back and covered it again with the nutmeg, and then it turned out really nice looking. And then after that, of course, I thought my camera was recording, and it didn't record, but I got some surface wax from Chalk Couture, and since this is a porous item, I used that wax on top of it. So you just take a lint-free cloth and wipe it on, let it sit for about 30 minutes. And then after that, you're going to take another cloth or the same cloth, but the clean end of it, and just kind of buff it out. So that way everything is smooth and there's no excess wax on there. Then once it's all done, you have a surface that you can use your transfers on. So once I finish wiping that off, I take my roof and I'm fuzzing it. Anytime you use, especially the first time you want to fuzz it. And I am just lining this in place. I wanted to, it was the house was too small for the roof to go on there all the way. So I was just kind of trying to eyeball and see where I wanted to lay it so that it didn't look so huge. So then after that, I took my bright white chalk paste, and I am just doing the paste on the top part of that transfer. I wasn't going to do the bottom part because I was afraid it would look too big. So, but I do have to touch up a few things here. As you see on the end there, it didn't quite cover the end. So then I just took that bottom part and kind of lined it up as best as I could to match those little dips. And then I just added a little bit more paste there to cover up those areas. And then that way it looked a little more uniform. And that's what I love about these things. You can just move them around, and better than stenciling. That's all I can say. So then I took my little bricks here, and my original thought was I was going to make this a brick house, but then I realized, you know what, that's going to be a lot of work, and I didn't want to do that much work. So, I mean, I'm still in my pajamas there. I don't know if you noticed, but what I'm wearing is pajamas. Anyways, I go across the bottom, and I just make some bricks across the bottom there. And as you can see, I got some chalk in there, so I'm sitting there trying to wipe it off, which you can use like some water or a towel or something and get it off. So after that, I took my little door, and I am going to place a door right on top. You can see how easy it is. I just love this part when you take the transfer off, and there it is. It's just beautiful. Then I went through with these little windows. That's where I realized that bigger window wasn't going to work. And I just placed one there. I paste it all up and remove the excess, pull it off, and it's beautiful. And then I go to the next one, and I am just making sure it's on there. No air bubbles, pasting it up, and voila. And I think it's so cute. So my kitchen is gingerbread, if you don't know this. So that's why I wanted to do a gingerbread house. So I'm taking these little mini ornaments I got from Hobby Lobby, and I'm cutting off the little hangers that are on top. And then this little Merry Christmas ornament from Hobby Lobby. And then I'm just going to hot glue that right above the windows so that it says Merry Christmas. And then I'm going to take the candy canes and I'm going to hot glue 2 on each side of the door, both of them kind of facing each other. And I'm going to take one of those peppermints and put it right in between, just to give it that kind of candy looking gingerbread house feel. And then I put on the second one. I did the same thing on the other side of the door. Then after that, I took my chalk marker I got from Dollar Tree. You can also get some of these from Chalk Couture. And I'm just making a swirly thing, just kind of, I don't know, make it a little more gingerbread house looking. Then after that, I took a little bow that I got from Hobby Lobby. And I hot glued it on the top, and that is that for that one. And I think it's really cute, and I think it's going to look really good on my tier tray with all the rest of my gingerbread stuff. You have to let me know what you think about it as well. So guys, if you have any questions about Chalk Couture, make sure and comment below, or you can direct message me on Instagram. I'd love to answer your questions. If you're interested in becoming a designer so you can get that 40% off, let me know. Or you could also join the Chalk Club, and if you want more information, just let me know. I'd be happy to let you know. So here's the final reveal of all 3 things. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I will be back on Friday with another video, so be watching. And with all that being said, you guys have a great week. Bye bye.